safe and hello students. I hope you all are safe and fine and continuously watching our videos on KSV channel. Our today's topic is functional dependency in database management system. What is functional dependency? It helps database designer to improve database design, to find problems in bad database design, avoid data redundancy and maintain integrity of the database. A functional dependency concept is introduced by EF code, which help to preventing data redundancy. To understand this concept, let us consider relation P and two attributes A and B, and the functional dependency is represented by arrow sign. When I write A tends to B, which means attribute B is dependent on attribute A, which means there is a functional dependency or relationship exists between these two attributes A and B. There are certain rules called Armstrong's Axioms which help us for reasoning about functional dependency. Or from Armstrong Axioms, we can derive or infer other functional dependency from the primary functional dependency. There are three primary rules. First is reflectivity, second is augmentation, and third is transitivity. Reflectivity. If A is a set of attributes and B is a subset of A, then functional dependency A tends to B is called reflectivity between two attributes where B is a subset of A. Next is augmentation. When we have two attributes A and B in which B is functionally dependent on A, and if we combine attribute C with a set of elements with both the side with A and with B, then the functional dependency AC tends to BC holds, which means that attribute dependencies does not change the basic dependency. Next is transitivity. If we have a three set of attributes A, B and C, and there is a functional dependency A tends to B holds and B tends to C holds, which means attribute B is dependent on A and attribute C is dependent on B. Then we can say that attribute C is indirectly dependent on A. Next is secondary rule called union, decomposition and pseudo-transitivity. Union. If we have two attributes A and B is dependent on A, and we have other attribute called C with functional dependency A tends to C, which means C is dependent on A. Now we have two functional dependency. First is A tends to B and second is A tends to C. When we unite or performing a union of these two functional dependency, then the answer will be A tends to BC. Decomposition. Decomposition is a reverse process of union in which we have divided this functional dependency into the two different functional dependency A tends to B and A tends to C. In a pseudo-transitivity, if we have an attribute A, B, C and D and functional dependency A tends to B and BC tends to D, which means B is dependent on A and D is dependent on B and C. Then if we perform union of these two operations, then the answer will be A, C tends to D. This is called pseudo-transitivity. Let us understand and derive some set of functional dependency using Armstrong axioms. So we have a relation E with set of attributes P, Q, R, S, T, U, and having a basic set of functional dependency P tends to Q, P tends to R, QR tends to S, Q tends to T, QR tends to U and PR tends to U. And now we want to calculate these four functional dependency from this six functional dependency by using the rules of Armstrong axioms. Then in order to derive first functional dependency, we have a solution that transitivity operation holds, because we have a functional dependency PQ and QT. P tends to Q, Q tends to T. Then by using a rule of transitivity, we can directly derive P tends to T. So next is PR tends to S. In the case of PR tends to S, we have a two functional dependency, P tends to Q and QR tends to S. By using the secondary rule of pseudo-transitivity, we can derive PR tends to S. Next is QR tends to SU. We have a two functional dependency, QR tends to S, QR tends to U. When we perform a union operation of these two functional dependency, we have a new functional dependency QR tends to SU. Last, PR tends to SU. Now we have a functional dependency PR tends to U as well as functional dependency PR tends to S. By using the rule of union again, we have a new functional dependency PR tends to SU. So friends, by using the Armstrong axioms, we can derive some other functional dependency and establish and identify relationship between the attributes of the relation in database. In our next video lecture, we are going to understand process of normalization. So please friends, keep watching our YouTube channel. Thank you.